Hey, we're going to be making 4 total graphs using a program called Google Sheets, and these graphs are going to contain information about the properties data that we already looked at with those 20 elements in class. All right, if you read this, it's going to pretty much teach you how to do it on paper, but we really want to do it on Google Sheets, so that's what this video is for. On this reading, there is a link that links you to the 20 elements, and these 20 elements do have their atomic numbers listed as well. If you're working with this at home, then you're going to have to move from this sheet to the Google Sheet. But if you're in class, I'm going to have you look at this so that you can just type the data into Google Sheets directly. So the 4 properties that we're looking at are, just as a reminder, melting point, boiling point, O-N oxide, and sealing chloride. We basically want to look at these graphs and see how these different properties change as the atomic number is increasing. All right, so let's get to it. Open a new tab. We're going to go to drive.google.com, and on the top left portion, click on the New button. We're going to click on a new Google Sheet. If you haven't used a Google Sheet before or any spreadsheet program, it's basically a way we can enter in data and either 1, manipulate that data, or 2, create a good visual representation of that data. So we're going to be doing both of those today. The first data that we want to put in is the atomic number against the O-N oxide. So let's make this a little bit bigger. So we're going to type in atomic number and O-N oxide. And basically, I'm going to be going to listing all of the atomic numbers, and I'm going to start from atomic number 1, and then atomic number 15, and then 7, and then 6, and then 18. So I'm going to go from column to column, and I'll do the same thing for the O-N oxide. So I'm going to go from 0.5 to 2.5 to 2.5 to 2, and you kind of get the idea here. So I'm going to speed up the video a little bit so that we don't waste too much time. All right, and there we go. Now all of our atomic numbers and their O-N oxides are listed. And right now the data doesn't look like it makes any sense because we don't normally see data this way, and it makes no sense. So we're going to insert a graph to try to make some graphical sense out of this. So we're going to highlight all of this, so click and drag. And we're going to insert by clicking Insert a Chart. So click on Chart. Now it's going to process this information and pull up this chart. The book says that we shouldn't use a line chart, kind of like this one. It's actually a scatter one. But we don't want to use a line one. We want to use a bar one, and the book explains why. If you want me to elaborate in class, just ask me. But on the right-hand side where it says chart type, click on scatter chart and change it to the bar one. The bar one is the one that says combo chart. It's the third one that looks like it has bar and line. So click on that, and we're going to have our bar chart. Now this bar chart still looks like it doesn't make any sense because if you look on the bottom, the atomic number, the numbers aren't even going in order. So we're going to fix that. In order to make it go in order, we're going to go back to our data right here. And we're going to select all these numbers right here. Okay, selecting the numbers. We're going to right click it, and we're going to look at the one that says sort range. Click on sort range. It's going to say A through Z, but this is also from alphabetical order and numerical order. So as long as it says this, ascending, we're going to click on sort. You may have seen your data sort itself, but as the atomic number sorts, the O-N oxide also follows. So now our data should make sense. You should also see that the graph makes some more sense. This looks like there's some pattern. You're going to be analyzing this with the questions from the book. All right. But before we actually analyze this, let's make our second graph. All right, we're going to make our second graph now. And our second graph, according to the book, it wants us to make a graph with atomic number against boiling point. So below my data right here, I'm just going to create another one. Atomic number, and next to it is boiling point. And this is in Kelvin, so I'm going to put that in parentheses with a capital K. Kelvin is just another way we can represent temperature. So we're going to do the same thing. I'll speed up the video to show you the end result. All right, I just finished. Now, the book says that we want to graph atomic number against the boiling point in Kelvin, but we actually have these numbers in Celsius because when we got the number from the data card, it does say degrees Celsius. So in fact, this label shouldn't be Kelvin, it should be C for Celsius. Now, how do we get Kelvin then? How do we graph atomic number against Kelvin? If you look in the book real quickly, the book says for our second graph, temperature in kelvins, K, is related to temperature in degrees Celsius by K equals 273.15 plus degrees Celsius. So to get Kelvin, if we have Celsius, take the Celsius value and add 273.15. Okay, we can actually do this really easily on the spreadsheet program. So let's label this column first. Now we're going to have boiling point. This one is actually in Kelvin. And to do this, we're going to click this cell right here, and we're going to type in equals 273.15 plus, and we're going to move over and just click this right here. This is negative 250 something, but it's in cell B24. From here, just click enter, and there you go. 20.15 is the result of adding 273.15 to this value right here. So do we have to do this for every single one? Yes, we do. However, there is a very, very easy way to do this. If you're in Google Sheets, just click this cell. If we want to repeat something that we already did, if we want to repeat this formula, just grab this bottom thing right here on the corner and drag it down until we stop at the very last value and let go. There we go. Now all of these are their respective Celsius values, except they have been turned into Kelvin because all of these have 273.15 added to them. All right. So this is a very powerful tool. It lets you add or do any computation that's repetitive real quickly. Okay. So from here, we want to graph atomic number against boiling point in Kelvin. So how do we do this? We're going to select atomic number, and then we're going to hold control and select all of these other boiling points in Kelvin, including the heading. All right. So we're going to go ahead and do this. If you drag down, it would work too. But here we go. Now I have these two columns, and you probably know what to do from here, but we're going to insert a graph by clicking the insert button and clicking chart. There it is. All right. Now with this data, we should again have it in a bar form. So on the right, click chart type and click the bar one. Okay, the combo chart. Here we go. We're going to run into the same problem here. The atomic number that's on the bottom of this chart, it's not going in order, numerical order. We're going to change this. So to change it to numerical order, we're going to go ahead and highlight these numbers here and right click. We're going to click sort range again, and we're going to click sort. It will change these to numerical order, and if you can see from this chart, now it's going from 1 to 20. Atomic number 1 to atomic number 20. And yeah, there is clearly a pattern here. So we're gonna analyze these charts right here. The first one, O in oxide against the atomic number in order, and the boiling point in Kelvin against atomic number from 1 to 20. Okay. Before you do these questions, though, I do want you to practice making 2 more charts because there are 2 more properties. We've already done O in oxide and boiling point in Kelvin. Now I want you to do Cl in chloride and melting point in Kelvin. All right. So make sure you have 4 charts in total, 4 total, and show me in class so that I can give you credit for this. For the questions, we're going to be answering those questions as groups and then sharing with the rest of the class what we came up with.